Hi guys, it's Krista from Playing with a Purpose. I had a subscriber ask me what my personal philosophy is on childcare. And this was a loaded question. And today I'm going to share with you some of my thoughts. If you're new here, my name is Krista and I'm a childcare provider for up to 5 children. And on my channel, you'll find tips and tricks, all things related to childcare, shopping hauls, and the odd family vlog. So the number one thing I think is important in childcare is that you actually like children. And so from a very young age, I knew that I was going to work with children. I absolutely love working with children. And on a Sunday night, I'm excited about what I'm going to do on Monday morning. And so I do think that it's important that if you're thinking about going into childcare, you got to make sure that you actually enjoy working with children. It's important to me to provide a nurturing, loving, safe, inviting environment. I didn't start out where I am today, and it takes time and commitment. And that's something that I'm super passionate about and I enjoy doing. Another thing that's really important to me is to work with the right clientele. Not all relationships are going to mesh well together. And so that's why the interview process is really important, that you go over all the things that you think might be beneficial to know. For me, I'm a very sensitive person. I find I work best if I have clients that are not micromanaging kind of people and they are able to just drop off in confidence, knowing that I'm going to look after their child well. And in that, I do understand that there's a level of trust that needs to be developed. And so I work really hard to provide an opportunity to get to know the families through different events that I do throughout the year, so that the children in my care and the families get to know each other well. It's important to pick families that are going to respect you and be able to communicate honestly and work together as a team. Another thing I've learned over the years is that not all children are the same. They all have different personalities, they all have different interests, they all have different strengths and weaknesses. And so it's really our job to be able to observe the children and be able to help scaffold their learning. I believe that children learn by doing. And so I try to create an environment here where they can be free to explore and also provide new experiences where they can develop new interests. I like to keep my classroom interesting and allow children to learn at their own pace. I also believe that it's important for children to take appropriate risks. I think sometimes we have bubble wrapped our children a little too much. I'm definitely guilty of that when I was a young mom. In order for children to understand healthy boundaries in life, they have to experience some level of risk. Offering appropriate risk opportunities is important. When I'm choosing the materials for my classroom, I want to make sure that it has value. Some of the things I look for in a good quality toy is it an open-ended toy? Are they going to be able to play this in multiple ways? Is it a noisy toy? I'm not into noisy toys. What kind of things are the children going to be learning when they play with this toy? I always like to make sure that the children are engaged in what we're doing. So if I look around and I see that children aren't really engaged, then I want to look at what can I do to help get this child more engaged, and what can I bring to the table to help them feel more interested. I also have a strong commitment to providing healthy, nutritious, homemade meals. It's really important to me to take out a lot of the processed food that we see in our grocery stores today. My husband loves to grow our food, so he has a greenhouse and a large garden. We also boil our own maple syrup, and he is a beekeeper, so we have our own honey, and we have some chickens, so we have our own eggs. When I'm looking for food for the children, I'm wanting to make sure that it's a whole food, that if I'm buying a staple item like yogurt, is it yogurt or is it yogurt with a big paragraph of list of ingredients that I can't even recognize? So one of the things that I do is make sure that I'm looking for quality ingredients and then try to make as much as I can from scratch. I also love to show children where food comes from. So we incubate eggs in the spring, and so the children get to see chicks hatch. And we grow our own seeds and then plant a garden. So the children have opportunities to see where our food comes from. And that definitely helps them to have a greater interest in the food that we eat. And by growing their own food and seeing all these things happen, helps them feel motivated to try new foods. Playing outside is so important. And so we value the time that we spend outside. There are days where we spend little time inside. Not only is outdoor time good for physical development, it's good for fine and gross motor. It provides endless opportunities for sensory play. Spending time in nature is proved to reduce stress and anxiety. It helps the immune system. It gives us vitamin D and helps us get better quality sleep. So definitely spending time outside is something I value. Children's behaviors are managed here with clear expectations and boundaries. And I find that when we are very clear about what we expect of the child, children's behavior is managed through clear expectations and boundaries. When a child knows what to expect, they almost always rise to the occasion. So those are some of my thoughts about what is most important in my childcare. I would love to hear your thoughts on your childcare philosophy. I'm Krista with Playing with a Purpose. I'll see you next time.